do anything. I go out and I work.
Snaps. Not like she's creating an entire human being inside of her.
Uh,
I'm just playing.
uh.
I'm on your side, buddy. Come on.
Well,
What's going on, discounters? Welcome to another episode. Starting a little bit later than usual and completely different day.
Yeah, a little bit by what, 26 hours or so?
We want to see how it works on a Friday, because not a lot of people have
I wanna
anything
see
to
a
do
lot of people.
tomorrow.
But I want to say a lot of people wouldn't be home on Friday night except for, the whole quarantine.
Yeah. But, I mean, nobody's listening to that, so. But, as always, I'm your host, one of your hosts. I'm Business 01.
I'll call you.
Cali Bash.
Mr. Blue, no damning.
And welcome.
Where did we get that new graphic? I like that.
Which one?
Like the black slabs with the red. Oh, it was on the screen right now when I opened.
The electrical discount.
Oh, that's the new intro I made.
Yeah. That just happened?
No, that's been on our show for like 4 episodes now.
Oh, I guess I haven't been around in the beginning. Are you guys cutting out too? Because mine is frozen.
No, I'm fine.
I mean, everything looks good. We have solid connection across the board.
Solid connection.
We try.
What did so that AT&T guy have anything good to say today?
Yeah, they wanted to charge $100 to come install. It's gonna be $80 a month for 1 gig of internet, and we're paying about the same for what we have. But the only problem I have with AT&T is we're not gonna use a full gig. Never. I do not foresee any of us running that
I
gig.
think John's taking it as a challenge over there.
I mean, I pretty much have everything that I want right now, so when they start making movies and shows and stuff like that, then I'll
That's
be
a good
back on my
point.
A game, but while everything is still shut down. Speaking of movies, though, I saw the newest trailer for Bill and Ted.
Yes,
Dude,
It was going
fucking
straight to
awesome.
stream, you know that, right?
Yeah.
which
Dude,
is
it looks
fantastic.
fucking awesome.
And apparently a new thing. Like, it used to be straight to DVD, now it's like straight to
Yeah,
the
straight
streaming
to streaming.
service.
But I wonder what streaming service is going to have it.
Most
I think
likely
they said it was Disney.
Hulu or Disney Plus.
I think they said Plus. I could be wrong.
Really? Like Disney? Oh, because it's made under Fox.
Yeah, I'm not sure which company made it, but I'm sure Disney owns it.
Well, no, like I think it's Fox, and Disney bought out Fox.
Well,
Like,
Disney owns pretty much everything, no?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty freaking much at this point.
If it's not Disney, it's Microsoft or Apple. So
Either way, we're stuck.
I would say it's like in Fight Club when he's talking about like when we go and explore other worlds in different universes and stuff. Generations from now, that's what they're going to be named. They're going to be named Planet Starbucks and Planet whatever.
Yeah.
It's just going to be corporations running everything by then.
yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah, I can definitely see that. I never make that association, and I never think about it. Like I love the movie, and there's a ton of like just great lines in there, but I never make the association.
What was that thing we saw on Fallout when I leveled up? Or no, it was when we were watching Viva La Dirt League, and it says Disney killed motion picture with.
Oh, what was it? I don't know. It was Disney killed something, but I don't remember like what it was or why or how.
Yeah. So what else is going on this? What'd you guys do all day?
Work?
Well,
We went to the vape shop and hunt her down a phone case for her new phone.
It
But
didn't work.
no, nobody carries a phone case for her phone. It's still too new.
oh.
So we had to order it from
Y'all should
Amazon.
have just gone to Sprint.
Yeah, but that was all the way over there.
Oh wait, it's like 10 minutes tops.
Yeah, that's kind of true in El Paso. You're like at most half an hour away from
Especially
anything.
especially where we live, you can literally get to anywhere in like 10, maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, but Amazon Prime spent $16 on a case. It'll be here Monday. I didn't have to go out and find one.
This dude is DoorDash too.
Right?
And I have the Dash Pass, so delivery's free, except for Taco Bell. Taco Bell charges $7 for delivery unless you pay $50 in food.
What the hell?
Well, even with Dash Pass,
Okay, see, that I see as a challenge. It's
Yeah, I'm like, also, how do you
50 bucks
spend
at
50? No,
Taco
we
Bell.
could do that.
the fact that we got Chili's for lunch and it cost us less than $30, and in order to, and that was with free delivery.
But with a dozen tacos is like 12, 13 bucks.
Yeah, I like 13 after tax.
I don't know, $50 would be hard to spend at Taco Bell.
You'd have to buy like 3 taco packs with like the 24 tacos in it.
Yeah, because we wanted Taco Bell, and I was like, we're already home. I really don't want to go over to Taco Bell and get food. We just got home. We decided we were hungry. That was like the worst thing
I
ever.
hate that. I hate
Yeah.
that.
We were out and about, and then we get home, and that's when we're like, oh, we're hungry.
Yeah.
We should have got food.
Yeah, it's like around here, there's nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Every
that
time
was-
I leave work, in between work and here, there's nothing to stop you.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
gas stations, that's all you got.
Yeah, not unless you jump over it. Then there's
Even then, well,
then there's just
just McDonald's would be open.
yeah, McDonald's and Little Caesars, and I mean, it stuff is good, but after a while, it's like
Oh, I am tired. I am McDonald's out. We've had
Yeah.
McDonald's like 5 times in the last week and a half. I
Yeah.
am.
That's a bit excessive.
Yeah,
Circle
no.
K now had like when we went earlier to get our
they have
drinks.
the new deli stuff in there.
Oh yeah, they
They
rearranged
had.
everything.
I was looking at the sandwiches that they like, because I'm guessing today was like the first day that they had put the pizzas in and all the hot and ready sandwiches and everything.
B-Man, it's about time you got to be on one of these.
Like they had a mushroom Swiss chicken sandwich
And it's
up
good.
there,
It's really good.
and I was telling him about it, and he goes, "That sounds really good."
I also know that where I can go get lunch for cheaper than probably ordering anything else, and it'll be healthier too. A sub sandwich versus greasy tacos or greasy
that's true.
burgers.
There's a Subway, and then there's that taco shop back there too.
What depends, what do we, between Dogos and Subway, people think that Subway's, well, I think it's actually, Jim Gaffigan has that joke where it says, like, eat fresh. It's like, oh, instead of one burger between 2 pieces of bread, why don't we ball up 5 patties and put in
Yeah.
a long piece of bread? It's
What do
really
you
not.
mean? What do you mean you're not a B-man? You're not big? I thought you were big. That's what the rumors are.
Huh.
You want me to call you small man?
You guys are awfully close.
Right? I was like, I
This-
missed something here.
This is Brian is the guy who, when we went out to San Antonio, when I still lived in Waco, we met up with Cam, and we went out and we were walking through downtown San Antonio, playing Pokemon Go, just hanging out for the night, and we went to go eat. And Brian and Shroom, I think it was Shroom, he can correct me if I'm wrong, they went with us to Jim's. And I asked, when we got there, the lady asked them what they wanted to drink. They both said water. I thought it was a little weird, but it was okay. And then,
I like how people ordering water is weird to you.
and I was like, all right, what do you guys want to eat? And they're like, we don't have money. And I was like, what do you want to eat? We don't have money. Cameron looks at him, what do you want to eat? And they kept saying, we don't have money. And finally, like, everyone at the table was like, we're not asking if you have money. We're asking if what you want to eat.
I was there.
Yeah, I know you were.
No, that was Brian and Solo.
No, it was Brian and Shroom.
Oh, what's your?
Yeah, because I didn't meet
You
Solo
reading
until
the
I
text?
moved to San
Yeah.
Antonio.
I was about to do the same thing. No, it was definitely true.
But that was the night Brian learned real quick that in the group you
Yeah.
go eat. If you don't have it, we cover it. Like, but you cover us the next time we go
Yeah.
or something like that. It's like, we'll feed you. We didn't take you to eat so we could eat in front of you while you watch us. That's one that's fucked up. I would have just took you home.
That actually, like, something like that happened here in the FGC. There's a guy, I won't say his name on camera, but I always call him the godfather of the FGC here. Good guy, really good guy. The guy owns like 4 PS4s, he's got 4 gaming monitors, controllers for everything. Like, he would take all of his equipment out.
Is that how we judge the goodness of people? Oh, he's
No.
a good guy. He has like 4 PlayStations.
Well, yeah, totally. But no, like, he would always take his own equipment out for people to play on. He always set up events, set up venues, like all kinds of shit. Like I remember, like a year or two ago, we didn't have a venue to go to, so he would set everything up in his garage and let everybody just go in and out. Like, he just left the door open. And after one of the events, this was already after I'd gotten out of the FGC, because here it's a toxic environment. But everybody went to one of the restaurants here. Well, it wasn't what's like our version of Luby's?
Well, we have Luby's here too.
Well, yeah, but it's Village Inn.
Well, I wouldn't say that's a Luby's.
That's our version of Luby's. We only have like 2 Luby's that I know of.
I'm giving the camera a weird
He's at a barbecue tomorrow.
for his birthday. Like,
You could have told us like a week ago.
Yeah.
I still couldn't have gone. I still can't go, but at least they could have gone.
he couldn't have gone.
Yeah, I can't go.
I could have.
You could have.
It wouldn't have been easy, but I could. But so everybody went to Village Inn, and they were like, "Hey, you want to go?" He was like, "I'm broke." It's like, that's fine. So he goes with them, and it's him and like 3 other guys from the FGC. They order their food, they do all that stuff, never offer to pay for them, never offer anything. And then, like, after everybody's like halfway done eating, they're like, "Why didn't you order anything?" He's like, "Because I told you, like, I'm broke, like, I have no money." And they were like, "Well, you can have our leftovers." And it's like, that's fucked, dude. Like, that's just fucked up.
I can't do that. If I'm out and I say, "Hey, you hungry? Let's go eat." And if you say you're broke, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. I didn't ask if you had money. I asked, "Are you hungry?"
Man, and even if it's like a bunch of people, that's even worse. Like, everybody throwing $2, let's give them a meal.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's just
Yeah.
it. Like nobody remembers that this guy puts his own money up for like prizes at the tournaments. Like, he changes all of his scheduling around to host these tournaments and these events. He goes out of his own way to set up venue. Like, he did everything for the FGC, and after that, dude, he was like, "I'm done." Like, he just separated himself.
And Brian, as much as we would like to, you've got to remember I live 9.5 hours away.
if you start driving now, though.
If I start driving now, I'll be there by 10 in the morning.
And then the hour and a
Our
half.
time, it'll be 11 in the morning there, and then I gotta find somewhere to sleep for 4 hours before the party.
I don't know. I think if you really try, we could make it 6.
Right.
I mean, I can definitely make it in 6.
Flashers.
Why not? Just 100 miles an hour and go.
I mean, once you cross the checkpoint, it's fucking open road.
Pretty much. There's no cops around ever over there. Every time we've driven up and
'cause
down there.
there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
It's a border patrol. That's it. But they don't pull you over.
That's what I'm saying. Like after you cross through the
Well,
checkpoint.
even then, you'll see Border Patrol sitting on the right-hand side of the road going towards San Antonio. They're always on the right, like towards the border area, all the way down I-10
Wow.
until
Right.
you hit, what is it, Fort Stockton, I think. Then you don't see anything anymore the rest of the way until you get to, what, Junction?
Yeah.
And then you'll see state troopers, finally, like 4 hours later.
Because nobody.
I don't
can
fuck with
gas.
state troopers. Those guys scare me.
Yeah. Like
No,
like
it-
Like,
It's-
normal, like, city police, you know, like, they're obviously, you know, they're still cops. They're
Yeah.
intimidating, but there's something about a state trooper or, like, an old sheriff. You know, they've seen some things and they
Yeah.
don't take shit.
well, okay, it's one of the two though. Either like they're an old state trooper or sheriff or something, and most of the time they're a little more lenient, or they're just the
complete hard
opposite, and
asses.
they don't let shit slip past.
Yeah.
Because they're brand new and they need to make that name.
No, I'm talking about the old ones.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's one or the other. It's not like, okay, sometimes they're like this, sometimes they're like this.
Yeah, when they're youngins, I always understand them being a dick.
Yeah.
When they're brand new cops, then, you know,
They have to be tough.
they don't have to be out. Some of the newer cops I've met, they're kind of like, yeah, I've done
Fucking
it,
Vinny.
whatever. What do you say?
As you know, you're gonna eat all that salsa. Stop shaking it off the chip.
I know. I'm trying to save your.
But in gaming world, Halo's trailer dropped.
Oh. Did you watch that? I sent it
No,
to you.
yeah, I got it this
Oh.
morning, but I was. I think
It
I
Oh.
was-
looks absolutely amazing. And then we found out a sad fact that Ashley has never played any of the Halo games in her life.
I played one, like, what? When we first moved in here?
Yeah.
And I think even then we only played it a handful of times.
Spoiler alert, I haven't seen it.
What'd he say?
Oh, Vinny, you haven't seen it.
And we don't own the rights to this trailer coming up on screen.
Yeah, let me see if it'll actually let me pull it.
Yes, Hayden, Dark Tide was also announced, and it looks
Yeah.
clean as shit too. But
Yeah.
the problem is, that means I gotta buy an Xbox, and I just can't. After all the crap problems I had with the 360 and the Xbox One, and no.
Why you gotta call me out like that, Benny?
Here, how about you put your phone here so I can see the YouTube chat, and I'll open the Twitch chat. That way we can read the chats. Sound fair? What'd he say?
I wouldn't know if you open that chat.
Xbox One is fine.
See, PC is probably where I'll end up playing it.
What
Vinny
games
said
would you
because he loves
recommend
it.
on PC?
Honestly, I have no idea. I really
Because
don't.
I can't even think of one title, but
I've been doing a lot of, PC games that I've ever played was like Star Wars TIE Fighter or Star Wars X-Wing.
There we go.
Those are old games though. I plan on buying it on PC once, I upgrade the PC.
Yeah. So again, guys, we don't own any of this, but we are super, super excited, or at least I am super, super excited about it.
Does it have volume for them?
I don't know.
No.
yeah,
No.
I can't hear. I can hear us, but not the video.
That's fine.
That's all they need to see is the video.
Well, it also helps with if we get
Yeah, with the whole
copyright strike.
shit and all that. But yeah, Vinny, definitely go check it out. Check out the version that they showed during the games premiere, because it has the actual gameplay to it and everything like that.
Another game that I looked there's two more games I was really excited about for the Xbox, but it's also gonna be on PC. Thank God. State of Decay 3,
That looks pretty
because
cool.
I am a huge fan of State of Decay.
Yeah, the trailer looked pretty fucking gnarly.
I was also really good at State of Decay. The other one is that one with the little people surviving the yard.
Grounded.
Yeah, where you could team up with your friends
Yeah.
to build and survive in a normal
Yeah.
human yard, where you can leave your friends to get eaten by spiders and run away.
Yeah.
That is a fun fact.
It's actually, or the new Fable trailer.
It was good, but I wish there was more to it.
No, it was hilarious. So
Yeah.
the fairy goes, thump.
And Hayden, that's actually awesome that you know that, because Marathon was what inspired Halo. Marathon was their initial beta test when they started hiring programmers. But yes, I am very, very excited.
It just sucks completely that Bungie is pretty much just no longer a part of Halo.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of throwbacks in Destiny too, to
He
Halo.
found the party
I found the
factory.
dance room.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and it
yeah,
was
you told me.
amazing.
Yeah, you told me. Whoa, our camera just like flipped the fuck out. No, it did. Like it just flipped the fuck out.
Bye, camera. Do we still have audio?
As far as I'm aware,
Yeah, I can hear us.
because like my camera's still going.
I can hear Ash hiccuping.
That's a brand new camera. That should not be doing that.
Okay, there it goes. It just flipped out there, and it flipped the fuck out there. So give us a second. I will try to bring this back. I don't know.
I
See
wonder-
what happens every time we try to do something new?
Well, you
Nice.
always,
We don't run a test first before going live.
No. I'm talking about like every time we try to change our schedule to either record earlier on better
Oh,
days,
wow.
everything goes to shit. Like our internet. The day we wanted to do it early, the internet goes.
Dude, yeah.
Now we're doing it on a day where nobody really has, they might have to work tomorrow, but they either don't have to work as late or they don't have to be up as early.
that and also the fucking storms. You gotta think we're getting hit by 2 tropical big ass storms.
Yeah, it shouldn't fuck with our camera.
The internet maybe,
That's what I'm talking about.
but it's not messing with our internet. John's is just fine.
Yeah.
So, Hayden, I will show you the dance room, but in Halo,
Huh?
That shit fucking with a camera, though.
in Halo, there is a room with grunts and a bunch of Covenant, and it's a disco hall, and they're dancing and partying and having fun. In Destiny, Bungie did a throwback to that on the Tangled Shore. There is a nightclub with Fallen in it. And if you kill the DJ, you can actually change the music in the
Which
club.
I find hilarious. by the
And
way.
you can change it to like absolute perfect like slaughter music. Like you're just running around blowing everything's heads off, and you got this real good beat going in the background. It's amazing.
I want to know what consists of slaughter music.
Like you see in like John Wick when he's killing 50 different people in his house at once. You know, that music that plays in the
Yeah,
background.
but then you see like Face Off, and there's that whole scene where it's playing Over the Rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a damn good scene too. Everybody's dying.
Good Lord, that is sorely
I don't know
outsized.
which game that the dance hall was on Halo.
The dance hall?
Yeah, like the club that was on Halo. Was that Reach?
I don't remember any dance halls.
I don't remember which one it was in, but you would find the Covenant and like having a party and dancing around. And that's why Bungie put it in their game in Destiny 2. Just like there's also a room that you can go to, and if you do the puzzle right, you'll die instantly in Destiny. But when you respawn, every time you headshot something, it makes the confetti and child noises in the background. Yeah, that's a throwback to the
That
Halo
was funny.
series too. Music to be murdered by.
And back to Hayden. 343 is like a love hate when it comes to Halo. I loved the gameplay and the graphics for 5. Hated the story. I cannot.
It's only because your waifu got turned evil. Spoiler alert.
No, not even like it started off great. Like the story was just perfect, and it went, and the build up was really good, and then the build up got even more epic, and then next thing you know, it's just credits rolling. Like there's no end to it. There's no conclusion. There's nothing. It's just all this build up, and then it just ends, and it's like, what the fuck? You know, and then on top of that, I was talking to Rudy about this earlier. In 5, John was like, by this time he's been labeled as a traitor. Locke and him got into a pretty good fist fight, and Locke like cracked his visor. How does he get new armor? You know, when you're labeled as a traitor and he got fucked up, and now all of a sudden he has new armor, like, what's the explanation for that?
I don't know.
No. It was cool that they brought an actor in for it. He played a good part, but like we have no background, we have no history on this guy, we have nothing other than the fact that he's a Spartan 3. Actually, his entire team were Spartan 3s. Yeah.
I've seen that one.
I promise I'm not pregnant.
Hayden, to answer your question about the birthday
Is
party
your mouth
for
burning
Destiny
from
2,
this?
we don't know.
No.
Oh,
I haven't found it yet.
are you lying?
Where the birthday party puzzle is for Destiny 2.
Uh,
We haven't found it yet. I did find the dance hall by some magic coincidence. I just happened to be running around in circles around the map, and I accidentally stumbled
on
into
what
the tunnel.
map, though?
Tangled Shore. Yeah, it's actually not that far from the beginning of the map either. It's like straight up the path, turn left, like right there in front of you. And it just goes down a set of stairs and you enter the dance hall. But you can't,
Interesting.
once you enter it, you can't leave until you kill everybody. What, for the Halo, I'm guessing?
I don't know. All he says is, "I've seen what I need."
Yeah, I'm reading
fully
it.
erect."
What Ash and I did is I pulled up Twitch on mine. She's got YouTube on hers, so I can read. We can read both.
Nice.
And I've still got YouTube playing on mine as well, so we've got
Nice.
two different views coming from two different
Vinny
sources.
was like, "Yeah, sure." So I'm guessing that the whole Halo thing that's sarcastic. So I'm assuming it's for Destiny.
He might have seen the dance hall or didn't know about it. He had to have known about that. It's Vinny.
I know that there's a dance battle that you can get into at the tower, but you have to have some sort of pass or something like that.
And I'll show you when we're done. I will show you where the dance hall is, and I will let you just go in there and kill the DJ and put on whatever music you want to slaughter everything that spawns into.
Jesus. Say what about Destiny again?
I was asking if you knew about, the club on Tangled Shore. Because I was trying to figure out what you were talking about being fully erect. I'm assuming it's Halo. I would have to. But I also recommend, if you guys haven't seen the trailer for Fable, go watch it. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And it's how you find out real quick that it was Fable.
Yeah.
We need to find that commercial about the Destiny, about the new one, and send it to Vinny about.
About Manscaped?
The one for the gun runner or the gun farming.
Slapping your mom. Yeah.
Yeah, slap your mom's ass.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. It was like the first lost sector, of course.
Okay, well, I didn't know it existed. Actually, none of us knew it existed until we saw that video.
You know what's funny? The last time Vinny actually seen me, he was just finding out that I was pregnant. He hasn't seen what I look like now.
Yeah, he was on the show. What?
I meant
belly wise.
belly wise.
Remember, the other table's shorter, so you could see everything when she stood up.
But now it covers, so nobody can see my pumpkin-looking belly.
Vinny said that it's been there for 2 years.
I've only been playing Destiny, 8 months, on and off?
I've been going on about a little over a year and a half now.
Yeah, same for me.
I didn't start playing it.
You in Destiny.
Yeah, we keep saying that. I finally started.
We either need to delete Call of Duty off of there because no one else plays it.
Well, I would play the Call of Duty, but we can still do LAN party though, right?
We have to have another copy.
Oh. And we can all play Destiny like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Destiny's free.
I started playing Badlands at least. Or
Yeah.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Fallout 76, and Hayden's going to have a lot of negative crap to say about it, is really good. I'm thoroughly been enjoying that game. It plays like any Fallout that I've played, except you can team up with people and take down other shit. The only thing I don't like is I can get killed by any other player anywhere.
Yeah.
But I've only seen that happen once, and that was to you, where the guy shot you and took over the bench you were working on.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it since, and nobody's done it to me. I've actually had people help me, but I've never been shot at.
I've been running Gambit a lot.
Alright, Vinny. Well, if you end up taking off, man, it's good to have you on the show.
It really is, dude. Hayden, Vinny is really good at the game, but he only has it for Xbox. So, but we did get Tyler.
Jordan.
He just started playing too, so he's part of the clan now, and he's already almost 1,000 light level in 2 days. So he's just been non-stopping on it. He's actually all the way up on the story where we are, where you guys got to grind out the Dreambane armor.
That makes me feel useless. I've been playing it for almost 2 years.
Yeah, okay, but you suffered from burnout for a while.
Smell you later, sir.
Well, that's the thing. I can enjoy it, until I get through all the new missions, and then it puts me back to the story, where I have to go back and do the old missions, and then that's where I get burned out.
See, for me, if I didn't have other people to play with, I wouldn't have downloaded it.
And a lot of things
So you don't really like playing with yourself, but you like playing with other people?
I love playing I love playing with myself. I don't like playing games by myself.
The Moon storyline, by the way, is character based, so if you do it on one character, it's unlocked for them. Awesome.
Interesting.
Huh.
But yeah, I just finished my Dreambane armor. She still has to get the cloak for hers.
Cloak and the helmet.
And then, no, we just got the helmet. I thought you did the Pride one.
It didn't give me the helmet.
I finished one of them earlier, and I don't even know how.
A lot of it is just random shooting.
Oh,
most
I
of
do a
them
lot
is
that.
most of them is kill this specific group, of aliens on this planet. Kill this specific group of aliens in the overworld. Blah 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 blah. It's real simple stuff. Getting the challenges. Yeah. Well, none of us have finished Shadowkeep at all. We're all at the exact same point in the story for Shadowkeep. So that's what we're trying to finish.
Well, there was a point at once. There was a time when I was working at my old job where I couldn't play anymore. Like, I was just working consistently over and over and over, and my schedule was just overwhelming, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, because her schedule was opposite of mine. So I would take her to work in the morning. I'd go home and sleep, go to work. And then while I was at work, she'd get off work, so I'd send one of my drivers to pick her up, bring her back to the store, and she'd be stuck there until 2 in the morning with me.
Vinny says that he's still on Homecoming.
He's still on what?
Wow.
Homecoming.
Oh, he just hasn't done it. He's been doing
that's
everything
like one
else.
of the first story missions.
Like, I'll tell you, like I told this idiot in this one.
Well,
Once
what did I
you-
do to you?
Not you, him.
You didn't have to tell me. I did the stories. You had to
Yeah.
tell him.
Well, him and
Hayden.
Hayden. Once you finish the story, your shit goes up a lot quicker, like your armor and your equipment and the shit that you get. He didn't believe me, and in one night he leveled his power level went up about 40 to 50 points in one night because he finished the story.
Except for Shadowkeep.
Aiden said that they reset everything for him.
Well, when you do the first story for Destiny 2, you have to go through the story once.
I don't think it was Vinny that said I'm still in Homecoming. I think that was Hayden that said I'm still in Homecoming.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Hayden.
Little Ventia.
It's Hayden.
I'm sure that's...
Vita Yeva?
Yeah, that one.
Ventia?
They're like Lucille Ball, Vitaminogen.
But
I don't know. He uses some weird ass name. I don't understand why it's not the Phoenician.
but
But it goes in
Hayden,
Japanese,
when
of
you
course.
when you download Shadowkeep and you have to go through the story again, it does reset everything for you. It resets all your missions, all your stories, all your bounties, everything. Not my account.
So get your own damn account. They're free. YouTube accounts are free.
Oh yeah, it kind of comes with a Google account, so.
I don't understand it. Watch, it's gonna be like, I just don't want to, or I'm too lazy. It's gonna be something along those lines. She has premium. She can add you to the premium, your account to her premium account for no extra charge.
Yeah.
Legitimately, I have both of them on my premium account at no extra charge because you already pay. Premium's only family now. It's not singles. It's once you get premium, it's family. You pay $15 a month, whether you like it or not.
And you can have up to what, 5
I keep
people?
meaning to add my love, and I keep forgetting. She keeps asking me, I'm like, I'll look for the password one day.
Oh, that's right, because all your stuff is written down.
Crap!
No.
If it's that big of a deal, Hayden, create your account and I'll add you to mine. I have 2 open slots now. Yeah, I still have 2 slots.
Did you pick what's his name?
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, I was gonna replace that account with the other one, but I haven't done it yet.
Why are we talking in code?
Because we're secret agents.
But she still hasn't had that conversation with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yay, conversation.
He's like, I have.
Alright, gonna go get on story.
Well, we're gonna be on Destiny in a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe. I might play Uno.
I'll be on Destiny.
work
probably
out on more than your TVs?
If I were to buy it for John, it would work on both of those PlayStations too.
Yeah, but 4 people can play off their phones.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out how that works.
Yeah, if you set your phone up to my PlayStation via Bluetooth, it'll
rather
put
just
the
have some
screen and
cards.
stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just easier with cards. I also would like to eventually play D&D. That's still something I really want to do on the show.
Yeah, but something like that, we'd probably have to like pre-record that.
Yeah, I understand that. Ash has to be in the mood for it.
probably around October. Cause what's her name has a character.
Oh. Yeah, but it needs to be someone who's going to be here consistently for the storyline. Not someone who's here for a week and then the story's dead. Because they left.
What are we talking about?
Right,
trying
thank
to-
you. Well, like, and
You
I'm
remember,
sure you know more
remember
than I
Dildo
do.
Girl, Brittany?
Yeah.
She wants to come out here before the baby's born so she could be here when the baby's born. And we're still trying to work out all the fine details before we brought the plan to everybody else here.
Which one's Brittany?
Dildo Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard a story today that reminded me of her. Apparently in Vegas, some lady went into an adult shop, right? And she stole one of their toys. And she got arrested for shoplifting this toy because apparently it's the biggest toy that's out there. It weighed 40 pounds.
What are you doing with a 40-pound
It's called
toy?
the Moby. I didn't look it up or anything though, but I'm all like, we should totally do that.
No, we are not doing that on the air.
But
Hayden,
yeah, so she just walked in, threw it over her shoulder, and walked out.
Hayden, as far as Warhammer goes, that's something we need to work out the fine details for. Are you doing it on Roll20 or not? Brandon, if we're going to play D&D, I need you to come over, actually leave your house and come here so we can sit down with Blue and run a one-shot, which is like basically a training campaign where I run you guys through a small story and you learn how to play the game there.
It's the tutorial.
Hey.
Skip.
All dialogue just.
Alright, I rolled a 1. That's great, right? No, you just stabbed your best friend in the back of the head with your sword and it broke the blade off in his face. Congratulations.
But I still have
I
a sword, right?
You have a hilt?
I don't think I've ever seen anyone else create a character sheet that's had more perfect rolls than me when I rolled my character sheet. I didn't roll anything less than a 15 on my character sheet for all my stats.
Yeah, no, and she was a fairy monk.
Yeah, yes. You tell the story every time.
But, yeah, Brandon, it doesn't have to be on a recording day. I'd actually prefer to have a day where we can sit down before we record and we can play a one-shot and then just do our normal day of recording.
Yeah.
That way I can understand how you guys play, and that helps me make the story more immersed, because I am not a all combat-based DM. I like to do puzzles and challenges and stuff like that.
Just don't do what Mike did and run into a room not knowing what's in there.
Because he got turned to stone instantaneously.
Yeah,
To be fair, he had really crappy rolls, because he already fell 10 feet.
Yeah.
Or what? He fell 10 stories, right? Because he
think it
rolled a 1
was.
trying to jump down
Yeah.
to the next platform, and he
Yeah.
missed and
Because
fell.
he didn't want to wait for the elevator. There was an elevator literally right in front of us. We just had to wait for it to come down.
I just wanted to
And he
roll.
was like, you know what? I'm going to jump. And he jumped, smack into the side of the wall, fell 10 stories, somehow caught himself. Like,
Yeah, he made a saving throw, which caught himself. But he was also carrying a 200-pound helmet.
Why?
Gone.
Because he wanted it.
Gone.
Why a 200-pound helmet?
Because he wanted it.
What was the benefit of it though?
Nothing. It was worth
Yeah.
money. That was about it.
Yeah. He couldn't wear it. He couldn't use it. He couldn't even smelt it down for like just raw materials. He just wanted it because it was worth something.
And he was like, he goes, I'm going to max my carry weight out just to carry this thing. So he filled up his entire weight
Just to
system.
carry one stupid helmet?
Yeah, and then he's
What's
like,
up,
I'm
Bodie?
going to jump 10 feet.
That's funny.
You know what's funny? When they did their campaign, like the tutorial, it was only supposed to be a 45-minute to an hour tutorial.
Oh,
It turned into a 4.5 hour, 5 hour tutorial.
Look,
and that was fun.
I don't mind 1,000 questions if you're a new player. I really don't. Really, really don't. But please.
It's when, no. It's when you make consecutive stupid decisions.
Yeah. After and it's not that I didn't give him a pre-warning or a precursor to what would happen if he made this decision.
Well, it wasn't even that. It's like I've played D&D before. I've run my own games. Shit, I've written my own pen and paper game. So it's like, if I'm in a cave and I don't know what the fuck's going on, I'm going to be cautious. So I was being cautious. And Mike's just like,
fuck everybody.
You're here to kill us? I will be here in 10. And it's like, dude, come on.
No, my favorite part of the whole thing is where this boy had to summon his deity to actually save their life.
Really?
Yeah. He had to sacrifice his deity's will, like his deity's
How
grace.
long were you into the game?
What? The second
Like
chapter?
2 hours?
Yeah. We were on the second part of the story.
And Mike had run into this room full of basilisks and got pretty much the entire left side of his body turned to stone like that. Somehow killed one on just a wild swing. I killed the other 2. There were 2 left.
And then the ghost of the...
Yeah, and then the fucking the ghost of the evil king, who was a lich. And I was like, you fucked us. You fucked us. Thanks.
I think
So I had to bring down my deity from the heavens and be like, look, this guy put us in this. And she was like, all right, I'll save you, but you're going to pay for it later. It's like, of course I am.
So, I'm a DM that does deities. And through a campaign, you get specific, summonings you can use for your deity. They can come help you fight, they can heal, they can revive someone that's
How
fallen.
many of those can you get?
So,
Or
okay.
It's all
Sponsor
dependent
us.
on you.
I think
It depends on, so like for John, when his character did that, she wouldn't talk to him or grant him a blessing for 3 weeks, and he had to keep doing his sacrificial thing at the...
Yeah, which
Shrine.
sucks because every time I pray, I heal. But whenever I prayed after this, my God was like, yeah, fuck off, homeboy. Which means I wouldn't heal.
I think the best thing that I walked into when they were playing that whole story, the tutorial of that story to show Mike how to play, was John had the string and the bell, and he was explaining to Mike how to make a tripwire with the little bell.
Keep in mind, Mike's character is a thief rogue. He specializes
Who
in
doesn't
trap
know how to
making.
make traps?
Or sneak, or
And-
jump,
Or sneak.
or
And
do
so
nothing.
for like
Second worst rogue I've ever seen.
And so for like 15 minutes, he was just sitting here thinking and
Yeah.
contemplating how to place it, where to put the bell. And I
Yeah,
happened to
because
walk in at John, and he was like, you just put it across the door and put
Yeah,
the
because
bell.
it's like we're already hurt, we're exhausted, and it's like, okay, we should sleep here. We have a trap, like just a natural trap set at that door, because it's caved in. I told him, I was like, go over there and make a trap. That way we know if somebody tries to come in. So he's looking around for shit, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, this is your job. You're a rogue. You make traps. You disassemble traps. You have shit to make traps. You have an entire kit. He was like, what do I do? I was like, you have string, right? He was like, yeah, I've got like 150 feet of it. I was like, okay, you only need about 4.
Five.
I was like, you have a bell, right? He was like, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them. I don't know what to do with them. I was like, okay, so you string it across, and then you put a bell on one end. So the bad guys can't see it. That way, if they hit it, it rings the bell. And he was like,
I still don't understand.
So that just made me realize something. You would totally die in the zombie apocalypse the first time you fell asleep.
what, me?
Yeah. Because bell across the door, you're not waking up to a tick, tick, tick. I've heard your alarm go off for hours on end.
No, not in real life, no. I was going to wire this thing to like a shotgun to wake me up.
Blast half your foot off and then maybe you'd wake up.
Totally. Like, I'm aware of this, but in a fantasy game where I am awake the whole time, I'm good.
Basically, like, so, and you have to be able to, I can't say this. Yeah, that one. Between in-game and real world. So, if you two are communicating to each other as players, you have to state you're communicating as players.
Yeah,
But you
so-
can't take knowledge you know in the real world and put it into the game.
You can. It's a lie. But you can't sit there and read through like the game manual and then carry that into the game. Like, you know. But if I say, okay, out of character, like you should do this, and then we go, okay, that's understandable.
Are there games where you can only talk as a character?
Yeah. There are some D&D games that are
that
run
series?
where it's like you can only talk in game. Like that's it.
Yeah. Like, I'll let you guys, like, out of character plan and, like, decide, you know, strategize and decide your, like, in game, you have to actually, you have to say that you're communicating everything you just said out of game, in game. Or your characters can't know what you just thought of.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I can't be like, okay, out of character, and then we talk about this whole plan, and then like we jump back into character, and you just fucking take off, like
To
ready
do the
to
plan.
fucking throw this. It's like,
Because then his character's going to be like, what are you doing? I don't know what's going on.
why are you running in that direction all of a sudden?
All you did was stand there looking up for 45 seconds and then started running.
But yeah, I'm a firm believer in using deities and having abilities associated with deities. I have a whole deity guide downloaded on my phone and what their abilities are and they grant you. What you have to do to gain favor with them, to gain loyalty from them.
That's what I should have done. I should have just sacrificed Mike to him. Be like, look, you came down because of this guy. Here, do with him what you will.
Fix this.
But when I walked in and when Mike was trying to put together the trap, the frustration and like I could just see how aggravated and annoyed he was in game and out of game of him not being able to put a string and a bell across the door.
And when newer players, like especially like brand new players, like if I have one veteran player, okay, maybe. But with brand new group, I usually make an NPC that's me.
Oh, okay.
It's basically my character in the game that I play as. That
So,
way
like,
I
like
can
walk through the.
Right.
yeah, that way I can help you guys out, you know, until you start getting the hang of it and he dips. He goes
Just
on
like
his
a
own.
Gandalf.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
He kills them all.
But in this, I was like, it's only 2 players, and it's John and Mike, and John's a veteran player. Like, he can counsel Mike, I don't need an NPC for this. I really needed an NPC for that. I did not realize how much Mike was going to end up getting John destroyed. Like, when he took off running into that dark room that nobody could see in,
Yeah.
full of skeletons.
Or here's the best part. Okay, so again, Mike is a rogue. One of the biggest things for rogues is that they can create and disassemble traps. Like, that is their profession. So we walk into a room and there's just sarcophagus everywhere. Like, this entire room is just littered with
Yeah, what's this button do?
pretty much. So we go to the first one. The lid is already off. Not only does he go to check on what's inside, to like check for loot, I check it.
Agreed.
Okay, cool. Mike goes to check it. He trips over the lid of the coffin. He falls inside of it. He throws up all over himself and everything in it, and then couldn't get out of it.
And then the next one, he
Yeah.
set off the poison
And so-
arrow.
Yeah, so like we go through all of those, and there's one big one. Like it's silver, it's gold, you know, all this other stuff, and it's standing up. I was like, okay, go over there and check for traps. So he goes over there. Out of the 5 traps, he sets off 3 of them.
I was about to say, you can totally see this being a real life situation
Yeah.
with Mike too. Hey, go check the chat. 3 seconds later,
Yeah. So like, the first one he got, the second one he got, the third one somehow missed him. The 4th one missed him and made him trip on himself. The 5th one was a poison arrow that he shot into his own leg.
How do you
It's
shoot
like-
an arrow into your own
Yeah,
leg?
it's like
you're like shooting a
He
gun
was-
into yourself. You have to.
So basically, the way I explained it to him is he was in the middle of disarming it, and when he turned the lever, it aimed the arrow down and set it off into his leg because it was
Yeah.
at chest height. And when he turned the lever to rotate the trap back in, he failed, and it
Oh.
triggered the trap
I was
down
saying
into
like a
his leg.
bow and arrow.
Yeah, but even still, like one would assume that okay, if you see an arrow turning down, it'd be like, you know what? Let me get out of the way. If I get nicked, cool. But no, he was just like, oh, I got this.
There's an
Is
arrow.
that
Happy again, boss.
Right?
What is
Is
it?
that the arrow in
Fucking
my
Ace
leg?
Ventura? Is that Ace Ventura? Ah!
Yeah. But yeah, and then like
Is it Ace Ventura?
I think it is
yeah,
Ace
this,
Ventura.
yeah, the second one.
He's like,
Ah! Where when the one guy like hits the spear in his leg, and then he's like throw me a spear, so he throws it and hits him in the other leg.
He's like minutes is like.
ah!
But yeah, and then so like we get out of that somehow, and as we're going into this corridor, there's a darkness there. You can't see through it. You can't hear through it. Nothing.
So obviously run headlong into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I've like the weapon that I had is a whip that I can channel magic through. So I roll the whip out and I ignite it. Well, as soon as the whip goes into this darkness, I can't even see the fire in it. Like, okay, this is probably something really bad. Mike's like, I got this.
Walks
Like, just straight into it. It's like,
basically, the word of advice is don't be that guy, especially when I'm warning, because I was dropping hints left
Yeah.
and right for this kid, trying to get him to understand. You should probably do it this way. You know what happens if you do this, right? Here's your outcome possibilities.
oh yeah. Yeah, and then at one point, we come to a lich, a female lich, who is just randomly, like, just inheriting bodies. And she's like this like, she has more power than even my character has ever known what to do with in her existence. And she was like, who is it? Yo! And Bash is like, are you really gonna do it? He was like, oh yeah, I got this. Who? It's Yo! She was like, yo, who? Yo, mama! Thanks, Mike, because now here comes your undead mother walking into the corridor, and it's like, I'm gonna kill you myself.
She had undead bodyguards. They were so basically the sarcophagi that they had been going through were undead great warriors, and the one that stood real tall, that was like the king of the warriors. Like, he was the strongest badass of them all, and he was this elf that stood like 8 feet tall, weighed 450 pounds, and was bulk as shit. And she had replicated.
Right, exactly.
She had replicated him to be able to make copies of him and make them undead.
Mhm.
And fucking, he says, "Yo, mama," and all you feel is the floor vibrating as they're walking towards the stairs.
Yeah.
Which I was like, we don't got this.
Yeah, like you can see the shadow of these things walking to the door. So I've got like these metal ball bearings, and I'm like throwing them on the floor. It's like, okay, if they come up, that'll buy us some time. And Mike's like,
I got this.
I got this. So he stands ready, and he pulls his bow, and he fires it. Nothing happens. And Bash is like, you can't see them. They can't see you yet. And there's a decline on the roof. Like, you're just going to hit the roof. He was like, no. I got this. Like, he wastes like 4 arrows just hitting the same spot on the ceiling, and it's like, why?
And he needed those because he ran out of arrows pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I usually play a campaign, I don't keep track of ammo. Like, I assume that when we go back to a town or something, you load up on ammo and essentials,
Yeah,
like
but when
food
you
and water.
fire off like 25 shots in like a 4-minute time span.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, you're out. Like, nah. And you're not even telling me you're retrieving your arrows? No. Now, if you tell me you're retrieving arrows, I definitely won't really keep track of your ammo.
Another good part of that is they were in like a dungeon thing, like dungeon hall. Then they were going down one
Trying to
area,
pick up chicks.
and
Is that wrong?
Oh no, Mike did hit on the Lynch Queen too.
Yeah.
Quite a few times.
and there was a bunch of, what were they, dead fucking zombified mummies just laying in the walls, and Mike decides to go with his pickaxe and just pick them
Yeah.
to get their stuff off of them, and then like
The wall collapsed.
and then no, the wall didn't collapse. Like after he hit them a couple of times, either they came alive or like more just started walking out towards him. And John was like, "Yeah, you done fucked us again."
Yeah,
This-
and then walking through that same corridor where he decided that waking these undead was a great idea. There's a trap on the floor, and he's ahead of me. Completely fails. He rolls a 1, so he sets the trap off. Next thing we know, there's fucking flamethrowers and zombies coming out of like the floor and the walls and shit like that. And it's like, all right, Indiana Jones, what the fuck are we gonna do next? And he was like, just run. And it's like, that's not how this game works, dude. Like, you don't just run.
Like I said, I'm a very, like, my DM playstyle is,
Very
They're-
forgiving.
yeah, I am very forgiving. But my playstyle is, you can avoid combat. In almost every single situation, there is a way to avoid combat. If you roll high enough, if you tell me what you're about to do, and I'll allow it. You know, if you're very detailed with what you're about to do, chances are you can do it. And you can avoid most combat situations. There are some where you have to get into combat, because there's some missions you have to kill shit. Some missions you have to do stuff.
What?
Okay, so the story started. I just remember this, that we were prisoners. I was in one cell, he was in another cell. We got taken to the king, like, hey, if you retrieve the crown, you're free. Whatever. So we make a pact with this Lich Queen, like, hey, we want the crown, and then we want to take the surface over. Cool, whatever. You guys want to reclaim your kingdom. I was like, when it's done, just let us walk away. I don't want anything, I don't need anything, nothing, just... And she agreed. I was like, alright, cool. So she takes us back up to the surface. We start storming the castle. Mike alerts a guard. So, like, he does something. So I climb up and I break through a window. And I start, like, walking across the rafters. You know, while all these things are fighting under us. And he was like, cool, I'm gonna go with you. He goes, and he decides to start jumping rafters. Like every other one. He jumps one, completely misses it, and eats shit right in the middle of these two armies, and he's just like, I've got a line for this. And I'm just like, oh my god. So I see a lever, shoot the lever, it comes down, gives them safe passage, but it's like, dude, like, you're...
And that's
you're
when I
going-
decided they needed an NPC.
Yeah,
Because Mike kept triggering all these events that I didn't even have written out yet. So I'm sitting here trying to make shit up as I go because he fucks up so much. And finally, I had gotten to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to put an all-powerful fucking NPC in here to help them at least with this fight, and then...
Yeah, and then it got to the point, like, a few minutes later, he was like, alright, we're going to go and call it a night there. And Mike was like, come on, man, like we're good, we're on a roll, the story's getting good. He's like, no, you don't understand. You're doing shit I'm not ready for. I'm ready for any other outcome except for the shit you're pulling.
Nobody goes and wakes up Ivan the Unwakeable.
Yeah. So we're gonna stop there, and I'm gonna like start writing the rest of this stuff out. He was like, fine. And then we just never picked it back up.
Wow.
It's like, I came up with a few scenarios of how to play out after that, but no matter what I did, I needed a third person. That's why I was trying to get you to play. Because Mike, no. No. I
Like-
needed someone else there.
Drowning person, meet lead weight.
I thought it was so funny because right about an hour and a half before they called it, like he messaged me and he was like, I don't understand. This kid is making up all these fucking scenarios and I have not put them in said story yet, and I can't continue the story because he's putting us in positions I haven't even written.
Like, I had to drop an NPC because of one
I
of
mean,
the
also
things.
if you could win the game by making the dungeon master cry from the...
Cameron.
We were pretty much there.
Cameron, dude, I worked months on this whole campaign for Cameron, our brother Chris, our brother Crawford, like a group of people I was going to play with in San Antonio. And the first part of the thing, Cameron is a freaking wizard, of course. And he has the ability to summon elements at his will. And they're small elements, like a small thing of fire where he can light it and he can flick it and it can travel a specific amount of distance. So they're on this fucking airship as prisoners, and they get attacked by a pirate airship. Now, what was supposed to happen is they were supposed to get captured by the pirates and blah, 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 blah. Cameron just blows up the ship by igniting the gunpowder in the middle of the ship. That was it. I had nothing. I had nothing for that.
His hopes and dreams are cursed.
It's like, way to go. You fucked us.
Like, I managed to flip it and still get them on the same story I had created, but I had to take an entire week and redo the scenario and play it out. And then I had to I had Cameron's character sheet, so I'm looking at everything. And I was like, okay, I got to account for him doing that. Nope, he's gonna do that, so I got to account for that.
He couldn't possibly fuck this up.
No, I made it to the point where at one point there was a orb that negated all mana. Yep. All magic. No magic could be used whatsoever. Even she couldn't fly. Because she was considered a magical creature. Nothing. No magic whatsoever. You can use ki. You can use rage abilities. You can do everything else.
Use anything that's not something Cam has.
So, Cam was...
It literally says it right there.
Right.
It still left Cameron with his ability to use divination. Because that's not considered magic in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
So, it gave him some spells to go off of. But
nothing that could blow anything.
Nothing that could blow my world kingdom come. I also granted him, and this was fucking hilarious, because him and I had a long conversation about this. One of the characters in the story was going to gain control of an artifact. It's a cursed artifact that boosts your spell capacity by 5 times your normal amount. It does 5 times damage, 5 times everything. Mm-hmm. You can't fail a roll on it. It auto hits everything. But there's a huge catch. It takes your life force and the life force of those that you've killed and puts it into the artifact, and that's what feeds your abilities. So throughout each campaign, every time we started, Cameron had to roll to make sure he wasn't losing his mind, because it was eating away at his psyche. And he got to the point where he lost his mind. So he was going crazy, blowing everything up.
Oh, that's great.
I thought it was so funny because after Cameron had demolished that story camp, like that part of the story, like he messages me and he goes, "I'm gonna need your help. I need some new ideas." I was like, "What happened?" And then he told me. I sat here, I put him on mute, and I laughed and I cried because it was. I was like.
Well, that's the thing. Like, when we worked at the call center in Perion for internet troubleshooting, when we were in class, we had 3 weeks of training. I spent every day for 3 weeks writing that story. Because I didn't pay attention.
And just gone like
Yeah,
that.
how long did it take him?
It took about an hour to blow the whole thing out of hell.
That's awesome.
Well, I was in the same training class as him. And so, of course, he sat on this side and his ex sat on the other side of me, and he goes, "Does this look okay? Do you think this is okay? Or can you read this?" And I read it, and I was like, "Change this. He might hit you there. Oh wait, no, he's gonna blow that up. No, you're gonna have to change this." And he would have to sit here, get a whole other piece of paper, rewrite that down, and be like, "Okay, what about this? No, he'll attack you here and here. God damn it! You just write the damn story." I was like,
Basically, the way that I ended up making the story is that amulet that he had, it drove him insane.
It's like a philosopher's stone, but
pretty much.
Yeah.
But Brian, who was in the chat, he's probably not anymore. He played our cleric, who also has mana latent abilities. Obviously, clerics have mana. So what they ended up doing is Cameron was going batshit crazy, killing everything. And Brian tackled him. When he did, it transferred it to the next mana ability. Because Cam had spent all of his mana.
So how
they
do
both
you
fail.
do the mana like that in?
Huh?
How do you do the mana in D&D like that?
Basically, you get spell slots, and you can cast a specific amount of spells from each slot before you have to rest and refresh your spell slots every day. I can show you on a character sheet what that looks like, but
It's a lot of math.
it really is. Playing a mana-based character, I mean, clerics, paladins, they're all mana-based, but their majority focus is big hammer, big shield, healing. That's all you really need.
Clerics have miracles. Fuck you.
They do have miracles, but they also have mana abilities. It's in 5e. Pick up the book, read it.
Snaps.
They have miracles and mana. They use both. They use divine intervention, which is their miracles, and they have mana abilities for like cure light wounds and stuff like that. So Brian tackles Cam, gets the curse put on him. Cam's laying there drooling in a heap of a mess. So now your only people left are your fairy, your wannabe lizard rogue, who can't do shit.
Who has a dick longer than him?
No, that was Solo's. Solo was a halfling, barbarian, who literally his character flaw is he had 3 legs basically because his dick was so long. No, that was actually he rolled enough to let me allow it, and it actually causes problems for him because he trips over it in combat. Yeah.
There was a
I hate
time.
when that happens.
There was a time when we were playing one part of the story, and like Solo was so far behind us, he literally shouted, "Hang on, guys, I can't keep up!" And then all he says is, "Hang on, I gotta chunk my 3rd leg over my shoulder."
Jesus.
No,
And I was like,
I made him. He was like he played it off as a joke. Like he was joking when he was creating his character as a character flaw. Like, no, we're gonna run with it. You came up with it. We're running with it. Roll it. And he rolled it. He rolled a 20, a 20, and a 10.
Jesus.
On a 10-sided die, he rolled a 10. On 20-sided, he rolled 20. So he got a 20-inch long dick, 10-inch wide,
Jesus.
and his legs were exactly 20 inches. So, because he's a halfling, so they're only 2.5, 3 feet tops. He got a 20-inch leg, so his dick was literally as long as his legs, not erect. He had to roll for erection too. I made him roll everything, and boy, let me tell you, when he was in a fight, that shit would kick his ass if he did it wrong.
God.
If you're gonna play around, I'll play it. I'll let
Swinging it around like as a. Like
Dude, he wanted to use it as a club once.
Yeah,
but...
I'm saying, that's what I'd be doing.
Come across a witch or something, you'd be like, "Did you just?"
The
What's
witch is
that?
falling in love with you.
Right.
That Solo, yeah, he had to have it too. He's like, I gotta have a big dick. I'm a halfling. I've gotta have something going for me. And then
You're a halfling. That's something going for you.
and,
What's his name?
and he was like, and I want to be a barbarian. I was like, halfling barbarian, so you just scream real loud and run in there. And
even the undead would be like, "Look, who brought the kid?"
God, look at the dick on him though.
And see, every time they would do sneak things or try to sneak around town or go unnoticed, he had to roll like super good for it too, because you couldn't mistake it. Oh, and he was a sex addict. That didn't help anything in the city either. He rolled that one because that's an actual flaw, is a sex addict, and he rolled it.
So who does he take this aggression out when it's just you 3 wandering around the forest alone?
One of the trees. Hopefully.
But yeah, so your cleric and mage are out cold. You're surrounded by an army of undead knights. All the militia that you've been surrounded by that's been helping you fight, they're under mind control from the necromancer. And all you have left is 3 dick. And a really talented samurai, a really good monk, a wannabe rogue. Who else am I missing?
what was Killica?
Killica was the wannabe rogue.
Who was Lizard?
Wannabe rogue. The wannabe lizard rogue. You know the dude that had to hide his tail too when he went into
no
town?
shit, but you give him specifically like 4 different names. It's the wannabe lizard rogue, wannabe this, wannabe that, and I'm like,
It's because it's Killica. He's a wannabe. Like, he couldn't do anything in that, right? What was... I think that was it. And they're
and then Wills. I forgot what his was. William.
William
He was
didn't-
in the story.
William didn't play when we played with Cameron and all that. We didn't start that until I moved there. It was,
Or was it Ariel?
no, Ariel got killed by Cameron. Cameron absorbed her soul on accident.
Solo? Brian?
Solo was 3-dick. Brian was the paladin cleric dude who was passed out on the
Solo,
floor.
Brian, Cameron, Killigan, Lee.
Crawford was samurai.
Was it yours? Was it your character?
It was Valina, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a vampire monk.
I had to think for a minute.
Yeah, my character, my NPC, I had to put in there because of how Cameron's character was going south real quick. Because he could not make the saving throws. He had a... So, when you make a saving throw, it is your Constitution modifier. So you have to... When you make a saving throw for, like, going insane, it's your Wisdom and your Constitution. And he had a -10 on both because of how much he had failed to this point. And this was the final... This is the one that broke his psych. And he rolled a 2.
Jesus.
Shattered that psych. Yeah. I don't know. We left off where they had found the... Everyone had managed to make them... Somehow, Brian had kept rolling good enough to regain some of his sanity throughout it. And they carried Cam and they made it to a dark tunnel when running away. And it has the other half of the artifact that Cam was using. And if you combine the halves, it can cure everything that you have a problem with at the cost of your mana. It will never allow you to use mana again. But it cures you, and I told him, I was like, here's how we're going to do this. So you'll still be able to use basic wizardry, but you won't have any high-level spells. You'll have to subclass into something else. And he was like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
So how does that work when you're doing the whole discussion? Like, when you're not doing it in character and you're
doing it out of character, and usually if I have to discuss something with a player, I pull them aside away from everybody else, and it's up to them to tell or not what's going on. And Cameron wasn't telling anybody.
And then how do they go in with that information though if you're not supposed to use information like that?
He goes in knowing it, and he makes his character act a specific way.
Oh, okay.
Like when he was slowly going insane, every game he would get more and more reckless. And he would care less and less about other people. So, and he kept playing it like that. He knew out of game what was going on with his character, but his character in game still couldn't figure out what was going on.
Oh, that's crazy.
So he had to act that way around everybody else. And I'd pull him aside, or I would text him, and we would have conversations about what was going on. I would text, like, Crawford when he's finally hit level 5, he subclassed as a samurai. It's because he texted me and told me his character's backstory. And they had just released Xanthar's Guide, which allows fighters to subclass to samurai. So I allowed it. But he gave me his backstory on why he couldn't, and because of his backstory, he wasn't allowed to use any new armor. He had to wear the same armor he was given. He had to use the same sword no matter what. And he could not kill unless provoked because of the code he had. He had to be in fear for his life or his friends' lives before he could kill. He couldn't just go kill somebody because he was told to.
That's interesting.
So it's all based on your backstory, and I take everything you tell me into consideration when you're creating your character.
Mm-hmm.
When I sit down with you to create your character, we'll create it. You think about what you want it to be like, and then we'll play like a story or two, and then you work on your backstory on your side and tell me what you want your character to do
That sounds cool.
and play like. And that's how I was able to integrate. Like I said, Solo's character is a joke character, but he was dead set on making something stick out of his character, and he threw a random thing out there and said, no, we're running with
Something
it.
stuck out, right?
And Brian's character flaw was he was a slave who had fled in fear of war, so he couldn't fight in combat. He would heal his friends, but he would never attack anything else. Dead or undead. Dead, undead, living, whatever. He wouldn't hurt anything. He couldn't hurt anything else. He was a pacifist. All he could do is heal his group. So you've got this paladin who mind you, got lucky on a chest. So lucky he drew a legendary shield out of it. Because that's what he rolled. And it's a shield that doesn't require you to equip it to use. It floats around you so you can still equip the shield in your other hand.
Damn.
So he had an armor class of 32. He couldn't be hit whatsoever, but he would never fight back. That's why he always got low health. Because he wasn't allowed to fight back. He wasn't allowed to wield a weapon.
Damn.
It's all based on your backstory. Like, Chris was a lizard folk rogue. His backstory was he was a drunk who was abandoned by his village after it was attacked, and they blamed him, so they exiled him. I made Chris stick with being a drunk, and she had to bail his ass out quite a few times. She had to turn him invisible when he decided that he didn't have enough alcohol, so he broke into a bar and stole Drow Hell, which in D&D is a very bad alcohol if you're not a Drow. It makes you hallucinate. It makes you burn and feel like you're on fire. And the effects last for 48 hours.
Jesus.
So her mentor found out that they broke into this bar, or that Chris had broken into the bar, and she joined him, and they both got drunk. Made them scrub the entire boat in the middle of the heat while still hungover and feeling the effects of that alcohol.
But little did I not tell Chris was in my little backpack. I had the cure that we were supposed to drink. But then again, I was like, I had told him that, and I was like, you know what? No.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna let him suffer.
We were hoping that it would help cure his issue with alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a small intervention thing. No, he went to drinking. He ordered 4 barrels of that for the ship and paid for it.
Jesus.
But yeah, like Chris was an alcoholic. Crawford had his backstory. Everyone had their own basic backstory. Yeah. So, and if you tell me your backstory, I'll work it into the game some magic way. I will figure it out. It'll affect you some way, either positive and negative. Like Cameron's backstory was he was a child when he discovered he had latent magic abilities, and ever since he discovered it, he's been craving power and working for it. So he was really powerful, but he was consumed by the need for power. That's why he took the artifact.
Just like Napoleon.
Right? Yeah.
And that's just how I play D&D. And most of the time, like I said, you don't fight a lot. Most of it's puzzles and using your mind to sort stuff out. I will put you in scenarios. If you decide not to go the route I want, you'll fight.
Damn. Well, I think we're going to call it there.
It is 1 a.m.
Well, guys, thank y'all for joining us. We will be back on Tuesday. We will be setting up the D&D, so if you guys are interested in joining us, feel free to hit us up on Discord. If y'all don't know how to find our Discord, then hit us up on pretty much any social media, and we'll get you the link for it. But until then, guys, I'm Iron Business 01.
Macaulay.
Calabash.
Mr. Blue, no damn me.
As always, guys, take care of each other, help each other, love one another, and be good humans.